When I first entered the world of trading, I felt incredibly small, as if the market were a giant ocean, and I was learning to swim without knowing the depth. Everything looked overwhelming until I found FIG Investments Ltd. The first time I read a heartfelt review FIG Investments Ltd, I felt an unexpected sense of comfort, as if someone was gently telling me, "You can do this." And the deeper I went, the more I began to realize that my confidence wasn't a distant dream. It was a path I was already walking. In those early days, I would stare at charts for hours, afraid to place a single trade. Yet every session on figinvestmentsltd.com helped me push away that fear, little by little. As I slowly grew braver, I wrote my first opinion, FIG Investments Ltd, describing how the platform felt like a safe corner in a very loud world. And as days passed, the market became less of a monster and more of a language I could learn to speak with grace and patience. One of the turning points for me was when I started experimenting with global pairs. Suddenly, the idea of international markets no longer seemed terrifying. With guidance from Forex FIG Investments Ltd, I began understanding patterns that once felt impossible. I even found myself composing a thoughtful review figinvestmentsltd.com, trying to explain how a beginner like me could evolve from uncertainty to curiosity. That evolution felt emotional, softer, gentler than I expected. There were hard days too, days when hesitation returned and I questioned everything. That was when Broker FIG Investments Ltd became truly essential. The structure and clarity around every tool brought me back to balance. I remember reflecting on this in another opinion, figinvestmentsltd.com, where I noted how grounding the experience had become. It wasn't about perfection, it was about feeling safe enough to keep going, even when I stumbled. Over time, something beautiful began happening. I stopped doubting myself at every turn. I started trusting my analysis, my intuition, my evolving skill. This shift grew even stronger when I read more stories in each review FIG Investments Ltd, written by people who had walked this emotional path before me. Suddenly, I didn't feel alone. Instead, I felt connected to a quiet community of traders who were growing with me. The more I learned, the more I appreciated the guidance from broker figinvestmentsltd.com, whose smooth and intuitive environment allowed me to breathe between decisions. I wrote a careful review figinvestmentsltd.com, describing the sense of stability that came from having a partner who didn't rush me. Every chart felt like a conversation. Every trade felt like a step forward. Eventually, I realized I was becoming someone new, someone stronger, calmer, and more capable. This transformation became especially clear whenever I referred back to Forex figinvestmentsltd.com, where each session reinforced my confidence. And in one of my final reflections, another opinion FIG Investments Ltd, I wrote that the platform didn't just help me trade, it helped me evolve. Today, my confidence isn't loud or forced. It's gentle, steady, and rooted in experience. And at the center of this transformation stands Broker FIG Investments Ltd, the guiding presence that shaped my emotional journey from uncertainty to calm certainty. Every time I open the platform, I feel that same warmth that once carried me through my first timid steps. Only now I walk firmly, with my head high,